Hmm. Hey, what's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a good day. I am testing something out today. I want to actually see. I'm trying out on the Black Financial channel, and I am going live on the channel. I haven't gone live on this channel before. This is actually the big experiment. This is me trying out for the first time what it would be like to go live and to talk about what's happening today in the world of finance and the financial markets. In case you want to know, we created the Black Financial Channel because we wanted to have a platform through which we were able to just talk about financial stuff and not talk about anything else. As you know, we got drboycetv.com, which is where we kind of get wild and have a lot of fun. And then we also have the Your Black World channel and stuff like that. But I figured that there should be a place where we could just talk about finances and just kind of focus on the economic stuff as opposed to getting into all the chaos and the craziness that's kind of happening in the world. So if you want to get notifications that the Black Financial channel is live, text the word Black Wealth. That's one word, Black Wealth, to 31996. Don't text it as two words. Text it as one word, Black Wealth, to 31996. And so give me 1 second here. I'm going to send out a quick text notification to let everybody know that we are live. If you are on the Black Financial channel, theblackfinancialchannel.com, go there, make sure you subscribe, stuff like that. Some of you are on Instagram. And if you want to follow me on the gram, that's cool. But if you want to follow me on the Black Financial channel, go to theblackfinancialchannel.com and you can actually go live there. Now, let's talk about what's going on in the stock market. The stock market has gone crazy. It has had a really volatile last couple of weeks. It's been, some would say almost out of control. But again, for those of you who are investors, who are, a lot of my students in my stock market class were asking me about, the market volatility. And the biggest thing that I always remind people is that while we can't predict what's going to happen in the future, we know that what's happened in the past. We know that the market does this a lot. The market has a lot of ups and downs. And what I'm gonna do is actually do a screen share for everybody. If you want to see, if you go to theblackfinancialchannel.com, you can see the screen share, and I'm actually show you what the Dow has been doing over the last, few hours in the last week, as well as in the last month. So give me a second and let me share my screen. I'm hitting some buttons here. As I pull this up, I'll tell you guys, I went to speak today on financial topics with the students at the Muhammad University of Islam in Chicago. And I'm gonna tell you, I've never been more impressed with a group of young people than I was today. I mean, these young ladies were on top of it. They were asking questions that most college students can't answer or ask. They were asking questions that were beyond the level of understanding of even college seniors that I've taught at Syracuse University. And that's a reflection of the fact that they're being educated by Black people that love them. They're not in the raggedy public school system. They're not at some big white university being taught how to be white. They were being taught by Black people who loved them, and you could tell that they knew who they were. They understood their mission to build the community. They also asked some of the deepest financial questions I've ever heard come out of the mouth of a young person. And I was actually assured by the people there that they didn't tell them what questions to ask or give them the questions. They prepared in advance, and I just thought that was amazing. So I love working with young people like that. But you can look here and you can see the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Here's what it did for the last day. You can see that there's ups and downs, ups and downs, right? You actually had a big jump, I think about 300 points or so at the peak of the day, and then you had it drop into negative territory for a little while, and then it went back up again. So it ended up about 82.66 points ahead of where it started. But during the day, it had actually gone as high as 300 points ahead. So most of you who have a stock portfolio where you own more than, say, 10 or 15 different stocks, which everybody should, you will find that you probably made money today, or at least somehow, some part of the day, you probably saw your money going up, and then maybe you saw it going down a little bit. But again, I'm not a big fan of really analyzing your portfolio on a day-to-day basis. I think you may want to look at it maybe month to month or every 6 months or something, unless assuming you can handle the volatility. If you can handle the ups and downs, then go ahead and watch it every day. But remember that just because the market's moving doesn't mean you have to move. It doesn't mean you have to actually do stuff. Here's the 5-day range. You can see the red means that it's going down. So you see here, we were over 24,008 something. So now it's dropped into 23,000 territory. So you've had a rough 5 days. You look at the last month, you had 25,000 briefly, then you jumped up again, went down, went way up to 25.8, and then you're dropping again slowly. So December has been one of the worst months in a long time. In fact, I'm not sure, but I can't remember. I think I could have sworn that they said something about it's one of the worst starts to a month since, I think they said, I could have sworn the Great Depression. They compared it to the Great Depression somewhere, but I don't think it's a reason to panic. I think that, well, first of all, there's something in finance that we used to study called the December effect and the January effect. And basically the January and December effect were built upon this idea of what they call tax loss selling. Tax loss selling was when a lot of people will basically sell out their dog stocks. They would sell their stocks that lost money so they can write off the losses for their taxes for the year, and then they might buy those stocks right back in January. So, for many years, they saw stock prices go up during the month of January, and they linked it to this tax loss selling phenomenon. So December typically is not just a great month for the market period, but there are reasons to be concerned. There are some broad economic indicators that are showing problems. And if you look at the year as a whole, you see that it's been a really crazy volatile year, or year to date. So 2018 has been kind of a crazy year for the market. It's been probably, if you look at the 5-year trend, look at the 5-year trend. Look at the 5-year trend, you go back 5 years, we're at 16,000, and look at where we are now. I mean, we're just way above where we were 5 years ago. So even if you're a person that's afraid of markets going up and down, just understand if you can stomach the volatility, the stock market has been a very good financial play for the last probably 30, 40, 50 years. In fact, I keep reminding you all, the reason I want everybody before Christmas to commit to becoming a stock market investor, like make that leap, make that jump, prepare your children to be wealth builders, make that leap into stock market investing. The reason I want you to do that is because when they look at the gap between the rich and the poor, they find that most of the gap between rich and poor is driven by stock market participation. Rich people invest, poor people don't. Even though a lot of poor people could invest in the market, because literally you can invest in the market with the same amount of money it costs you to go see the Black Panther, or to buy Popeye's chicken, or to buy a pair of shoes. So don't think that the stock market is just for rich people. It's just not true. It's not true. It's just not true. It's not true. It's not true. In fact, if you think like a poor person and you want to stay poor and you continue to behave like you're poor, then you're going to be poor, right? But if you think like a person who says, well, I'm only temporarily poor because I'm going to start acting like I'm wealthy and I'm going to start doing wealthy things, then you're going to find yourself growing in wealth. And I repeat this a million times to Black people, because there are a lot of Black people who just somehow think that poverty is a permanent condition. It's almost like thinking that obesity is a permanent condition. So it's like if somebody tells me to exercise, they say, exercise, Boyce, you need to exercise in order to lose weight. And if I say, well, I can't lose weight, I'm fat, right? That wouldn't make any sense. It would sound dumb for me to say, well, the reason I can't lose weight is because I'm fat. And someone would say, yeah, but you're fat now, but that doesn't mean you have to stay fat, Boyce. You can actually lose weight and get thin. And I say, yeah, but I'm fat. How can I lose weight if I'm fat? Well, that's maybe me being fat is an even greater reason for me to lose weight, right? So ultimately, when you can't say I should act like a poor person because I'm poor. Well, because if you keep acting poor and you keep making bad financial decisions because you're poor, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to stay poor. So basically, what I would encourage you to do is to just start with the baby steps, start investing. I think that is a good move. It's a huge economic move. So anyway, just to give you some more indicators, let me see. Let me check the channel. Make sure you go and subscribe at theblackfinancialchannel.com, or theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's where I'm actually live right now. And so basically, if you look at the reasons that the market's kind of acting crazy right now, a lot of it has to do with uncertainty. Most of what moves the market, obviously, is information. The market is, not sure what the Federal Reserve is going to do about interest rates. They're not sure sort of what's happening right now with various, important factors kind of occurring in the world right now. Like, for example, the situation with Donald Trump in the trade disagreements with China. Oil prices drop, which tends to cause market volatility. So when OPEC tends to do crazy things, that causes oil prices to move. What else is happening right now that's interesting? There's a threat of a government shutdown. Any threat of any risk, anything that makes you nervous about the future is going to cause markets to kind of buckle and maybe drop. So basically, because there's a fear that there could be a government shutdown. Mitch McConnell, I believe, I think he's the Senate Majority Leader, made a comment about there being a potential shutdown because they couldn't get a certain bill passed or something like that. So when that happens, you tend to see the market kind of drop over things like that. So right now, the big news that everybody's waiting for is they're waiting to see what's going to happen when the Federal Reserve, when the chairman of the Federal Reserve makes an announcement about what they're going to do with interest rates. That's kind of the big elephant in the room. So right now in the market, you kind of have what I would call a pregnant moment. And in that pregnant moment, you have a scenario where you know something's going to happen, something's going to change, but you don't know exactly what's going to change. You don't know what's going to happen. So it's like if you're pregnant, if you know a baby's coming, but you don't know if the baby's going to be a boy or a girl. You don't know if it's going to be healthy or unhealthy. You don't know anything about the baby, but you know a baby's coming. So we've got a financial baby, that's coming. We have a financial pregnancy in terms of information that's going to be released where we don't know if the information is going to be good or bad. So the market's kind of speculating. They're pricing stocks and bonds based on what they think that the Fed chair is going to say. And the thing about it is that it's not a matter of exactly what he says. It's a matter of the fact that, it's not a matter of what he does. It's more important what he actually says. Well, because what he says tells people sort of what could happen or what they think is going to happen. So you're sending signals like that, and that can actually cause real movements in the market. The market moves typically based on information. So you got some big information coming in. As I'm looking here, I pulled up this article in USA Today, and they basically are pointing out the steep slide in December, the broad market sell-off. It's the worst start to December since the Great Depression. So that's a big deal. That's noteworthy. But again, the market has a lot of drops and everything else. Now, somebody asked, do I see a crash coming? I mean, no, I don't. I mean, I haven't seen a crash in a long time, and there's never been a crash where the market didn't recover. So, market crashes, people are afraid of market crashes, but it's like being afraid of a cold. Like a cold is not the same as catching a disease and actually dying. If you catch a cold, you're going to get better. You just can't go to work that day, right? So the stock market catches colds, but it's never died, right? So, I think a death will probably be scarier than catching a cold. What do you think about the expropriation of South African lands without compensation? That's a little bit outside the scope of what I was going to kind of hit on today, but I mean, I think that you can make the argument that if you are taking back something that somebody stole from you, then that's not really theft. But then again, though, some people may disagree. I personally have no big issue with it because, what was done to us has to be justified and rectified. And who's going to give us justice? I mean, if somebody steals your car, can the thief of the car actually say, well, you stole my car and took it back and gave it to the original owner? Well, I mean, if you stole my car and then the police come to your house and they take my car back and give it to me and they don't compensate you for it, you don't have a reason to complain. You should be happy that we ain't throwing your butt in jail, right? Chubby Curls, hey girl, how you doing? Good to see you. Don't forget, reach out to me, okay? Because I want to interview you very soon. But there's no rush. Let's see here. Market correction, yes. I have $2,000 to invest in the stock market. Where do I start? Start that by downloading apps. And just jump in and start investing on a basic level. I think that'll get you started. Even an elementary investor who doesn't know what they're doing is better off than a person who doesn't invest at all. And I've talked about that. And also I have a string of videos in the Black Stock Market Program. If you want to check it out, feel free to go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. For the month of December, we actually have a discount where you can get 75% off a lifetime membership. So if you go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com, that's where I'm teaching thousands of students how to invest. And I'm breaking it all down. Plus, on top of that, you can get a degree from the Black Business School. So you can make a couple of choices. You can either go light and just jump right in, which I think everybody should do that on some level, or you can go a little heavier and make sure and learn everything. And I break it all down in very simple terms, very simple language. And then on top of that, you can actually get your degree. You can put it on your wall. So it's a good gift for yourself and for your kids. Should we sell off and withdraw? I'm not a big seller. I just, I'm a long-term buyer. So that's kind of how I operate when it comes to investing. All right. So I'm going to check back in periodically. So feel free. You can go to theblackfinancialchannel.com and subscribe. And I'm going to be doing lots of financial content there, mostly financial news and things that I see in the media. And I'm going to keep the videos relatively short because sometimes I go in there and y'all know me. I do my lectures that are an hour and a half long. and some people don't. Some people like it, some people don't. So these will actually be short ways that you can kind of keep up with what's going on in financial news. And I'd actually like to be able to get some other news commentators in to kind of talk about what's happening in the world, because we need Black financial news. Any advice for kids during this Christmas break? Yes, get them gifts that will last a lifetime. Don't get them stuff that's gonna like break down in 6 months. Toys don't last that long. But if you make an investment for them, that can last forever. Are bevel clippers on shelves where you are, Professor? No, they're not. Bevel just got sold. Bevel just got sold to Procter & Gamble. So the original owner, I forgot the guy's name, but he does not own the company anymore. And a lot of people were celebrating the sale of Bevel. They thought it was a big deal. And it is, I mean, it's a big deal, but it's not a good thing. The venture capitalists put 40 million into the company, and the company sold for less than 40 million, from what I understand. So so do the math. I mean, if you sell something for less than what you bought it for, is that a good investment? No. I personally think Bevel, they put too much money into Bevel. I don't understand. See what Silicon Valley does, because they're racist, is they kind of pick like a favored Negro. They pick one Black person and they say, we love this person. You're the darling of Silicon Valley. And they give that one person all this money, all this capital. And the next thing you know, they're passing up all the other great Black businesses that could have used that capital too. So I think 40 million was too much to put into Bevel alone. I think 10 million, 15 million could have gotten them the opportunity to at least know what the potential of the product line was, and then take the rest of it and chop it up, you know, spread the money out. But then again, you know, who am I? I'm just a guy with a PhD. Doc, I have a children's book, Nasir Perseveres. Okay, all right, cool, great. Share your website and I'll shout it out. Rita King says it encourages entrepreneurship and community involvement. Okay. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know what you're referring to, but I love you for that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Would you advise diversification or allocation of sure buys? I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know what you mean by sure buys, stuff like that. There's nothing that's 100% certain and sure. But anyway, if you want to come into class and ask a lot of the specific questions about, you know, how to invest and how to get started, all that stuff, feel free to join us in class. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. So a lot of times I'll talk about financial news on the channel pretty briefly, and then also we do in-depth, long, you know, Q&A sessions with students in the Black Business School as well. So I'm out of here, guys. Have a great day. And also, by the way, I forgot to mention to you, tomorrow we're going to do a lecture. If you want to join us, it is basically a lecture on how to quit your job and make more money. And I lay out a clear blueprint on all the things you want to look out for, the steps that you have to take to walk away from the job, ways that you can kind of refine your business idea to figure out ways to make more money. And it's a long form lecture. We're going to talk about 90 minutes, and we're going to basically break it all down. I'll answer a million questions, and we'll just kind of drill in on how to do that. You can go check it out. There are a couple of options to get in. One has a small fee, but the other one is totally free if you want to do a free trial on one of our programs. So you can go to drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. And and the benefit of these programs is that what I wanted to offer the community is the chance to talk to a college professor, and instead of going down to the university down the street and paying $50,000 in tuition, we can put you into things for $29 or whatever, right? So that's kind of what the goal is here. The goal is to create a university space that allows us to get everything we need without having to go $100,000 in debt. Okay. So anyway, I'm out of here. Don't forget, subscribe at theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace.